Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the EV Show by Ludicrous Feed Live. I'm your host Tom Gan. This evening, 24th of September, 2024. Crazy times, already September, officially into spring here in Australia. So yeah, the weather should be warming up very shortly. So nice to see you all, and should be a good show tonight. Lots to talk about as always. Let's welcome our regular guest and host, as always, Mr. Riz Akhtar from Carloop. Hello, Riz. How are you this beautiful evening?
Hey Tom, going well. Now, a week ago, we
Yes.
were out in the open at
Yes.
a global launch of a vehicle. So that was a week ago. Tom, I've seen you working hard, capturing as much footage as possible. You've launched multiple videos since, and I was literally there just sipping lattes at that time. So we're back on, excited about tonight's show. Let's see how it goes.
No, Riz, you are too modest. No way you weren't. No way you were just sipping lattes. You're working hard as well. And we'll talk about Riz working hard very shortly. Once we say hello to our sponsors, of course. Thank you very much to Carloop, as always. Hang on. Let me just have a look. Yes, Carloop, always at the stage. There we go. Carloop, where Riz is from, of course. If you want to launch a business in Australia, that's where you go, Carloop, to get your data. Can't go anywhere without finding out what's happening in the EV market currently in Australia. So check out Carloop. And thank you, Riz, for always sponsoring the channel too. Much appreciated. Let's say hello to our regular viewers and members as always. And the question I posed this evening was, I've got a 2024 BYD Atto 3 media car on loan at the moment. So what differences would you like to see in my upcoming review? Of course, the elephant in the room is the ability to charge at a V4 Tesla Supercharger. So I'll make sure I check that out, and hopefully that works, and then we'll hopefully get onto BYD to try to get the 2023 and earlier cars to charge at a Tesla Supercharger V4, V3 as well. And Graham's got more questions for the Atto 3 as well. Does it have rain-sensing wipers? Is the sunscreen any denser than the earlier model to cut down the sun and heat? Great questions. Mitch asks, is the Spectre available? No, unfortunately, it's been recalled, I think the Spectre is. Something to do with the brakes, I believe, the electric Spectre.
Look, I think brakes are not an issue when you're driving around in a Spectre, because basically everything else is stopped. And you're so isolated on the inside, Tom, which you got to experience. Basically, you've got your own postcode. So, yeah, brakes not necessary. But if you've got one, check out Recall Australia. If your Spectre has been recalled, the VIN number should be there.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I cancelled my order, is just because of the brakes. So we'll see what the next, when they fix the brakes, we'll see. We'll revisit that issue once again. Hello, Jim. Yes, I believe the southeastern corner of Australia was battered with high winds a couple of days ago, so hopefully you're all doing well. High and dry at the moment. Hello, Mark. Looks like it's still windy in Melbourne at the moment, so take care, guys. Hello from Hobart, says Tassie EV. Very windy as well. Oh, no, warm. Sorry, warm day today. Going to 20 degrees. That is warm for Tassie. Well done. That's good. And yeah, Tassie EV also asks, can it charge at a Tesla V3, V4 Supercharger? That's the burning question at the moment for all Seal owners pre-March 2024 and all Atto 3 owners currently too. So we'll find out. Hello, Rob from Surf Coast, Victoria. Winds expected again tonight. That's no good. Hello, Jason from Mid-North Coast, New South Wales. Hello there. Nice to see you. Hello, Aaron. Nice to see you as well. Yes, happy to be back on a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. So nice to see you all join us once again. 121 viewers, 5 minutes in. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Hello, Scott from Northwest Sydney. Hey, good to see you there. I hope you all saw the Metro in action in my latest Smart 1 and Smart #3 video. So check that out after the stream. You get the full rundown of what happened.
Just a quick one on that. Tom, we know we talk about EVs, and you happen to find yourself in some of the newest ones, whether they've got 4 wheels or about 4,000 wheels. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, keep doing that sort of stuff, because we want to see the whole journey. Showcasing the Metro, and basically, if Tourism New South Wales is listening, or Transport for New South Wales, they should be sponsoring the channel.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, the phone line is always open, guys, so give us a call. Yeah, I guess that's what we do. If you want the polished result, there's always the other channels, other media outlets for the polished reviews. But hey, we show behind the scenes. We show everything. We don't leave any leaf unturned. what happens on tour sometimes stays on tour, but sometimes it's worth showing as well. So stay with us. We'll show you what goes on behind the scenes. Oh, Jez, hello from Byron Bay. Hey, looks like no. I think I'm really in Melbourne. Okay, right. Spent some of the day trying to find Tom on his surfboard out on those waves. Well, yeah, those media tours, Riz, as you know, they're very strict, aren't they, with times? We just don't have much time to get out there and do what we really want to do, but that's okay. We'll come back another day.
Look, some of our viewers and listeners may find it hard to believe, but there literally is no time on some of
No.
these. And I think we learned it particularly well when we went to China. And, like there's so many questions. Did you see charges? Did you see? It was very hard. Everything was sort of back to back. And, plenty of other trips to come. So, yeah, keep an eye out on Ludicrous Feed.
Yeah, well said, Riz. I mean, look, time is precious for everyone. They want to squeeze the most out of us, and we want to see everything as much as possible too. So, look, I think Smart did a good job. We managed to test all the cars, almost all the cars that were on offer, and they put us up in really nice accommodation too. So, yeah, thanks again to LSH Auto for flying us up there in Brisbane and Byron. Yeah, so if you want to check out my video after the stream, there it is there, the Smart #1, #3, Brisbane to Byron Bay, full coverage, 55 minutes. Me and Riz are having a great time in Brisbane and then Byron Bay later on. So, yeah, watch that after class, please. Hey, Oz Screamer, nice to see you from Canberra. Hello, Lewis from, hello. I think Brisbane as well, Lewis. Justin, back to winter in Brisbane. Oh, we got the good weather, Riz. That's great. Hello, Cyber EV. Oh, from a Jolt Charger. That's great. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you there. Hello. Hello, Kangaroo Island, watching from Kimba, South Australia. Day 1 of Cross Australia trip. Hey, have a great time. 625 kilometers done today. Wow, what an effort. And Stan still managed to join us on the stream. How good is that? That's commitment. Thanks so much.
Dedication.
Love it. Hello, Grandpa. Hello there. And yeah, Justin loved the Smart launch. Wish I could have had that breakfast. Yeah, that breakfast at Byron Bay was fantastic at Elements. Really, really nice. Here we go. Jeremy's got his dad joke. Should a Tesla wear a mask if it gets COVID? Yes, an Elon mask. Love it. Thank you. Hello, Stuart from South Australia. Hello, Paul. Nice to see you. And Riz, question for you. Jason asks, is Riz going to be in charge of the new Koala Airlines in Australia after the failure of Bonza?
Is there such a thing? If there is, I'm always backing new airlines. Some go well, some stay grounded.
Stay positive, Riz. Don't let anyone tell you airlines can't do well in Australia. Yep. All right, let's keep going. Hello, John. Evening, gents and EV fans from John and Fiona. Hello there from Katoomba. Hello, Andrew from Perth. So many members. Thanks, guys. Oh, Amazing EV. Shout out to Roscoe from Amazing EV. Thanks for joining.
Hey.
Much appreciated. Awesome. Jason says, took a trip down to Central Coast, New South Wales last weekend. Hardly any fast chargers around there. 3 EV chargers at a shopping centre, all up being upgraded and unusable. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that one. Paul asks, is the Supercharger near Catholic Club at Campbelltown V4? Yes, it is, but there's a closer one for me now. Chatswood is also V4 and open to all non-Tesla EVs too, which is great. Awesome. Hello, Steve. Nice of you to join us. And thank you, Jez, for gifting 5 memberships too. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you for the greetings too. Look at this. It just keeps going. Keeps going. Thank you so much. Peter says, 4 wheels per bogie, 2 bogies per car, 6 cars per train, 48 wheels on a metro train. There you go. It's a fun fact. Horizontal lifts. Lift drivers were abolished. Wheels. Yeah. No drivers, right? We don't need drivers. Ran pretty smoothly. Hey, Charles. Nice to see you. Awesome. All right. So many members. Much appreciated, everyone. All right. Let's get on with today's show. So, watch that video after the stream, guys. And I want to also shout out to Kia for loaning me their EV9 this weekend, last weekend. I had a car load full of K-pop fans after the Esper concert in Sydney Olympic Park. I had a great time while I sat in the car editing that video that you just saw to get it out in time before embargo. So, but thank you, Kia. What a magnificent vehicle, Riz. This is like 7-seater at its best. Got all the fans cheering inside. It was great. Great night.
That's it. I mean, it is still one of the only 7-seaters. I do see though that I thought, Tom, you were out there to see Psy, who might have landed, but clearly a different K-pop band right there. And did everybody have a good time riding in pretty swish comfort there in the EV9?
Oh, so good. I even provided chargers for them all before the event so they could charge their phones up so they could take photos and videos. That's how much of a
That's
host I wanted to be. So,
premium.
yeah, thanks, Kia. That's great. And yeah, again, if you just joined us, I've got the BYD Atto 3 2024 model at the moment, thanks to EV Direct in Australia. If you want to see any features that have been apparently upgraded in the Atto 3, if any, let us know in the comments section or in live chat, and I'll try and add that to my review. The elephant in the room, of course, is the V4 Superchargers and V3 Superchargers. I'll definitely test that to make sure it works in the Atto 3. And then put pressure on EV Direct as well to get those upgrades for the pre-2024 Atto 3s and pre-March 2024 BYD Seals too. Got an update on that too, actually, later on in the show. Now, Riz, you were talking about, jetting around and stuff. Now, we all know Riz is Hollywood Riz, right? We all know he's the man. There's a reason why we call him that. When we were in China, we called him Hangzhou Riz. He's spotted everywhere he goes. But at the #5 launch, we decided to call him #Riz because he made it onto a very, very popular Weibo channel, which is the Chinese social media in China. So here's a clip of this gentleman here interviewing Riz. So let's get that going. So this is in Chinese, but you kind of get the gist of it.
现在我身处澳大利亚，然后来这里呢去参加一场汽车
It's
的
basically
发布
saying
会
he's in
啊。
Australia
到
for
底是什么车
the
呢？
Smart #5
就是
launch.
Smart 刚刚新出的
Does a bit of a
电动
walk around,
SUV
etc.,
今年
etc.
5号了。
And then interviews a few people later on in the segment, including this gentleman here speaking Cantonese, and then this gentleman here after him, #Riz. Now, I'm not sure whether you can hear this. Hopefully, you can.
I have some questions regarding
Can
the
you hear
Smart brand because you just have this brand in Australia, right?
Yes, just
Oh, okay.
started, launched today. Well,
Okay.
Smart has been missing from Australia for a couple of years.
Okay.
Just been reintroduced, and from so far, it's very good design,
Okay.
European design, and that's what it looks like. It's going to be quite exciting. There's nothing like this at the moment.
Okay. About the brand, would they see it as a German brand, or do many people know it's like a German and Chinese co-join?
I think only car people like us
Okay.
know that it's German and Chinese.
Okay.
In my opinion, it's the best of both worlds,
Okay.
but most people will see it as a European brand.
Okay. Cool. What do you think about the #5?
Very cool. There is
Okay.
nothing like this. So we have about to get Zeekr X.
Okay.
We're about to get a couple of other cars similar, Volvo EX30.
Okay.
This is nothing like this at the moment. If it is something like 75,000 Australian
Okay,
dollars,
yeah.
it should be well received.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Riz. That's fantastic. Like, we saw you on Canadian radio last week. Now you're on Chinese social media. Like, seriously, is there anything you can't do? It's fantastic.
Well, look, the only thing I can't do is find out where these people are from. They interview me, and all of a sudden, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then all
Sorry.
of a sudden,
I've
That's
lost
right.
vision. So something wrong with my camera tonight. So hopefully you will see me soon. I'll have to have a look. But you can still hear me,
Tom
right?
coming back. Yep, we can hear
Yep.
you, Tom.
Yep.
So
Apologies.
that's right. We'll wait. That's all good. Yeah. So I didn't know where they were from, and all of a sudden they basically started interviewing. I still didn't know, and then I showed it to one of the guys that works with me, and he said, "Oh, I've seen you on the social media thing," and apparently this guy's one of the biggest Chinese social media car influencers. So anyway, tip for next time: find out who they are and where they're from before they publish you everywhere, and everyone else know you were on there, but you don't.
No, Riz, look, seriously, this is well deserved. Yeah, that's a good guess as well. 75,000 Aussie. Do you stand by that? Do you reckon that's going to come in at that kind of price?
I think base model has to, like, you can't, in Australia, like we've got a luxury market or premium market, but by the time this car lands in the second half of next year, we know how quickly things are moving right now.
Yep.
I'd say 75 grand is sort of the starting price, and that Summit Edition, which is the other one that viewers and listeners can actually get a chance to have a look at on your channel, that might be closer to 100, but we'll find out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well said. A good summary as well of the event. This guy was quite enthusiastic, and we saw how enthusiastic the other vloggers were from China. It's next level passion, actually. So yeah, great to see. We 100 guests, I think, at the Byron Bay event over the last week.
It was pretty massive. Like I said, this gentleman was from Guangzhou, And that's all I found out about him until start getting pings from everywhere saying, hey, I've seen you on Chinese media, I've seen you on Canadian media. And I'm thinking, I haven't seen myself anywhere. So
Hashtag Riz.
hashtag Riz, that's what a good,
I love it. I thought he might have been from Guangzhou. He spoke Cantonese halfway through the video and then Mandarin as well.
right.
So very accomplished. Well done. Oh, let's take some comments here. We've got, here we go. Jez is asking for your autograph after that. Hashtag Riz. I think it's catching on here. Here we go. And questions for the Atto 3 upgrade. Yeah, BYD Atto 3 umbrella holder. That's a good question. We'll try and find that somewhere.
Has it got a stargaze and some of the other features that you've seen in one of the newer semi-affordable vehicles you've been in recently, Tom?
I think the Atto 3 is the stargazing option for the Spectre. That's how much you're going to pay to have that option. Is the Atto 3 interior a little less adventurously designed? That's a politically correct way to put it. And yes, it is a bit more toned down. But, spoiler alert, the guitar strings are still there, which I'm very pleased about. It's good. Richard says that guy's far too enthusiastic, referring to the vlogger. No, they all were like that, actually. He's par for the course. Yeah, someone's asking, who was it? Scott was asking how I fit my day job. Yeah, we talked about this last week, Riz. We're having trouble here. There's so many cars to review now. It's hard to pack it all in.
That's it.
Okay, let's keep going. Our media superstar is, yeah, I like that one too. He's gone global, says Anthony.
Jeez.
Industry heavyweight Riz Akhtar, 100%.
Oh, no. And funnily enough, Richard calls me nearly every second day. That's what he calls me, industry heavyweight. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not Pacquiao, but, I could be.
No, I agree. No, you're the Oracle as well. Riz, man of the world. New hashtag. International man mystery. That's fantastic. Keep those comments coming, guys. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah, Richard asks, does the Atto 3 have an option for wheel hubs that stays stationary? Ooh, okay. That's like the Rolls-Royce, right?
Yes.
Yeah, BYD logo. Actually, now it's just BYD on the back, not Build Your Dreams.
Yeah.
So there you go, something a bit different there. Okay, let's get to some serious news. Not that Riz is not serious, but some industry news, and this is what Riz is really good for. So this is EV trends in New South Wales, dating back to 2017. So Riz, again, from Carloop. If you want data, this is where you go. So let's share that right now, and here we go. Riz, take us through this Riz chart.
Awesome. So, yeah, this data is out of Transport for New South Wales, where we compile it every month. And it's quite interesting to see how gives us a bit of an indication. So this generally comes out on the first day of the month, new month. So it gives us a bit of an indication of where the market's heading. And as we can see in August, they added about 1,500 cars into the New South Wales fleet. These are new electric cars. And New South Wales is generally a third of the market. So we got, somewhere between, I think, over 5,000 EVs registered. Now we have the official data for the whole country. So a bit of a slowdown in general. And we're going to talk about that a bit later on as well. But New South Wales still doing fairly well. Interestingly enough, I think Queensland was quite comparable. But things might change there very soon now that their rebate is about to sort of go next Monday. Yeah. Oh, already ended. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, let's see what happens. $6,000 is quite generous.
It's very generous. Yeah, it would bring the Atto 3 down to like low 40s. So it's a shame. But, we don't want EVs to be artificially inflated either in their uptake. So we are seeing real numbers, which is good. So it should hopefully just slowly pick up. And that was the whole point of these incentives, just to stimulate EV interest, and it done that. That's for sure. So we'll see what happens. So we know obviously since the almost 10% numbers back in late 2023, it's sort of flattened out a little bit since then. But yeah, good interesting times ahead with a lot more cars coming to market as well. So fun times ahead. Now, we'll talk about numbers now. So Riz, this is your article from today, I think. So yeah, take us through these numbers here. Yeah,
so nearly 6,000 battery electric vehicles were sold in August, where the total number of vehicles in the country was about 100,000. So with that in mind, it's one of the, let's say, lower months when it comes to the percentage of EVs sold compared to the rest of the market. But having said that, there's quite a few things going on here. Cost of living is one. There's obviously things around people anticipating new models coming out quite shortly. We spoke about it last week, and we're probably going to touch on a few of them later on today. So there's a lot of new product that's about to land. That's probably what people could be waiting for. But also, there's unfortunately quite a bit of FUD out there around, EVs still, which is quite interesting. So people might be waiting for, the next generation of the models. One thing quite interesting was this month, BYD sold more plug-in hybrids than they did all of their electric models.
Really?
So
Wow.
they sold the BYD Sea Lion 6 outsold the Atto 3, the Seal, and the Dolphin combined.
Incredible.
The Model 3 outsold the Atto 3, Seal, and Dolphin combined. So it goes to show that there is a demand for plug-in hybrids, but at the same time they've been pushing them quite heavily as well. So I guess now that we have a rough idea of what's going on in the market, hopefully with new models, so the Seal's supposed to get a new upgrade shortly. Same with the Sea Lion 7. That's another SUV they're planning on launching. So hopefully that'll bring the sales up. But it's quite interesting to see the Atto 3 sort of plateau. It's also, I believe, the lowest month for BYD Seal sales this year. And the Seal's been, I think the first customer deliveries were in December last year, has been in the market for about 9 months now. So yeah, if this is happening now, it'll be really interesting to see what happens when the market, there's more competition in the market. So what happens? Do they cut prices? BYD already had their what they call world's biggest EV test drive day in August. Are those sales supposed to come next month? There's a few answers we don't know yet, but yeah. But Tesla's still leading the way with their Model Y and Model 3, and there's a big gap, as you can see, between number 2 and number 3.
Yeah, thanks, Riz. Good summary. Yeah, I mean, that's very interesting, isn't it? So it's lots of new models coming too onto market. So whether that actually helps push things up or just eats into the shares of Tesla and BYD. And I guess, there's a lot of talk about the new BYD Seal coming out, hopefully later this year, if not early next year. So are people waiting to get new cars? There's a lot of questions unanswered, right? And the Model Ys, there's still to come as well, the new facelift. But, Tesla is obviously, they're very well established now in Australia. People go back to what they know. A lot of good feedback with servicing and so on. BYD possibly letting customers down without an upgrade for the V4 Supercharger situation officially yet. So a lot of things going on for the BYD brand. And as you said, the Sea Lion is selling well. I'm seeing a lot in Sydney actually, just driving around, just anecdotally. So, that's the question. Like, do we just accept that the hybrid cars are like a gateway, or do we say no, they're not EVs? It's a tough question at the moment.
Yeah, I guess it's who you ask that question, right? If you ask BYD, it's certainly needed to, like, if we had some statistical data of what people are trading in to buy the Sea Lion 06,
Yeah.
for example, if they're trading in, a 5-year-old Mitsubishi Outlander or a Toyota RAV4, then it makes sense. It's a cleaner car, but are they being told how to use them properly, in the sense that charge when you need to? Otherwise, they're pretty inefficient in general. So you can't get the 1.1 or 1.7 liters per 100 kilometers. That's the claimed, sort of range, the efficiency of the car. You can't get that if you're not charging it daily and doing all the other things that you need to do. So in Europe, it's been proven that, plug-in hybrids are rarely used the way they are intended. So the emissions are a lot higher. And are we masking some stuff? I'm not sure. BYD does have good technology in many ways, so that could be another thing. And I guess the last little point is, it's still very early days. So I think it's in its second or third month of deliveries, the Sea Lion 06. I don't know whether it's going to keep its momentum. And one example of that in that list that we see in front of us is the Volvo EX30. It's starting to plateau a little bit, not for any reason. I think it's a good car, but I think that initial sales have sort of concluded, and now it's on to sort of the regular sort of proceedings.
Yeah, that was one vehicle I was very curious about to see how well that would continue to sell. Curious to see the BZ4X 70 sales. So some people are buying that car, and cheap doesn't necessarily always mean doesn't translate to sales. We've got Aura, Dolphin sort of languishing down there. So yeah, I mean, people still want the quality, and we've seen that with the Teslas and the BYDs, of course, higher up the list. Let's take some comments from the audience, and then we'll talk about hybrids very shortly. That's something I want to explore later today. Richard's saying, yeah, seeing lots of Sea Lion 6s in Melbourne as well. Yeah, that's right. Strolling obviously likes the Sea Lion 6 for the win. Yeah, and Tassie EV, great point that Riz was also saying. PHEVs that don't get plugged in are no better than a hybrid and more complex. This is true. You've got to use this properly. And this is the issue I want to explore as well. Hybrids, can we, with the BYD Sea Lion 6, can you just get around with just the electric powertrain and not touch the petrol at all if you don't want to? That would be an ideal hybrid for me, rather than the petrol component recharging the battery, because that would be crazy, which I've never liked about hybrids. So maybe I should get into a Sea Lion 6 to test that aspect of it. I mean, I've resisted very long on the channel not to review the Sea Lion 6 and other plug-in hybrids for that reason, but maybe it's time, Riz. I don't know. It's a philosophical question I need to talk with myself about.
Look, full disclosure, I was at the Sea Lion 06 drive event in Lang Lang, which is a track in sort of southeast of Melbourne, when they did that earlier this year. And it's very hard on a track to test whether you can get an all-electric sort of drive out of it. So I think we may have some owners that are, listeners or viewers of the show. If you have experience, can you get 70, 80 Ks out of that battery that it's got? And yeah, Tom, I think from a experiment point of view, I think it'd be interesting to see just as a comparison.
Might be time. We shall see. There's been offers to try and get me into a hybrid, so watch this space, Riz. Yeah, interesting times. Look, it is a gateway drug. A lot of people say that. Maybe, once they get into a hybrid and they say, look, maybe I shouldn't need to carry all this petrol around if I could just run on the electric powertrain for most of the day. Let's take some more comments. So yeah, Strolling says mostly the range is good, fuel efficient, over 1,000 Ks. Yeah, it's true. Tassie Evie says also the new Dolphin that looks more like a possible hot hatch, the performance one. I'm not sure that's even coming anymore.
Silo 6 GT.
Yep. Question from Sergio. When is
no.
the Sea Lion 7 coming? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's end of this. Well, there's talk of it being end of this year.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Gaffer's saying media beating it up sometimes. People are worried. Yep, Kangaroo says hybrids aren't EVs. Waste of time, in my humble opinion. Okay. There you go. Mixed opinions, definitely. John O.D. saying charging infrastructure is a big reason. Yeah, that's true. People choose hybrids for that reason. They may never take that long road trip, but they want the perception that they can take that road trip. And that's the thing. You got to win people's minds to show people that you can do these road trips in EVs. All right, let's keep going.
Just on the road trips bit, I think people that are interested should check out your smart #1 and #3 drive, because that was a little bit of a road trip from Brisbane through the back of Gold Coast hinterland all the way down to Byron without needing to charge anywhere.
Yep, that's right. I think we finished in Byron with 60%, honestly, and we took all the back roads. We didn't use the M1 all the way down, so can be done. Let's keep going. Justin saying, went to the BYD Experience Center last. They said the new seal is coming early 2026. All right, so 18 months at least, thereabouts. All right, Lamb says, I've got the new 2024 Atto 3. Find the lane assist works okay at 50 to 60, but don't trust it at high speeds. Adaptive cruise control is great. That's good. Richard says DMI platform, which is the Sea Lion 6, should be decently nippy with the engine off. Okay, maybe we should test these. Yeah, thanks, Liron. I was just thinking that review the EV part only, right? That's something we could do. That's for sure. Let's keep going. Oscar asks, you still need to turn over a plug-in hybrid petrol engine if it's idle for a while. Yeah, that's a very good point. Can you just shut it off completely? Tazi asks, is the C-Line 6 a serial or parallel hybrid drivetrain like the Holden Bolt, which the engine never drove the car unless it was at high speeds? The battery drove the car at about 50 k's EV range. Yep, good point. Thanks for all your comments, guys. That's great. Much appreciated. Cool. All right. That's good. All right, let's keep pushing on. I might actually go to the hybrid aspect of it now, actually, just while we're talking about it. So this is the 2025 BYD Shark, which is a hybrid, again, a hybrid ute coming in 2025. Apparently.
Drive reckons it's an electric car right there.
It's not, actually. Well, it depends who you ask again. Drive clearly think hybrids are electric. But they need the little blue sticker in a lot of states in in Australia, sorry, including New South Wales. What are they asking here? They're doing got an online government database seen by the Drive publication listing for a 2024 BYD Shark base 4x4 priced at $68,000 plus on roads, or $77,000 drive away in Metro Sydney. Not verified though.
That pricing, I mean, that's still far too high for an entry level. Well, when I say entry level, it is an entry level ute. So yeah, I don't know. That's quite interesting to see that it's being submitted as a vehicle priced around about that same. We're talking nearly, what is it, $75,000. That's a lot of money for a ute buyer as well.
I mean, look, I got to be honest, I don't know what the pricing is like in utes at the moment. I'm just not interested in them. But according to this article on Drive, Ford Ranger, about 68 as well. High spec wild track 4-cylinder, 69,000.
Yeah, wild track would be, yeah.
Yep. Toyota Hilux Rogue, 671. So I don't know. Maybe the pricing is correct if these prices.
The challenge is with the ute market, there's the retail price. So your Ranger, let's say that Ranger wild track 4-cylinder, that's the top spec, just under the Raptor. That's plus on-road cost. There's huge discounting, generally speaking, in the ute or fleet space. So I remember once upon a time you could get wild tracks drive away for like 62 grand. It's probably closer to 70 drive away now, but it's 70 grand for a fully kitted Ranger. There's a lot of buyers for that. Whether there'll be a lot of buyers for a entry level Shark, yeah, not too sure.
Yeah, it's very aspirational. It can tow something big like that. You can watch stuff off it. Projector screen like the Smart Hashtag 5, maybe. That looks pretty rugged to me. Yeah, if you're after that kind of thing. So it looks promising, I guess. We'll see. Yeah. Lewis is saying if you tested a hybrid, be used as a control. Encourage people to test an EV if they're opposed to them just because. Yeah, could be a gateway once again. Yeah, I mean, Gaffer's got a good point. We should be interested in utes. I know I'm not personally, but maybe I should look into them more. We need to. That's who we've got to win over, right? The people who actually drive these things to show that it is possible to drive an electric powertrain. It's true. Yeah, utes are tax write-off. Certainly benefits for that.
Actually, while we're talking about utes, just quickly, there was a Rivian R1T spotted in Victoria this week, and the person that spotted it says that it was near Geelong, and there's usually 4 test vehicles outside that house. So there must be an engineer that works for Ford or something like that. So they've got a Rivian R1T that they are benchmarking or testing probably their hybrid Ranger with. So yeah, interesting. I wonder how long that's there for. It's pretty easy to spot when you've got those googly eyes and but very cool cars.
Yeah, it's funny, Riz. It's halfway in the show. It's talking about hybrids. Suddenly 206 viewers. The viewers have jumped up.
Jeez,
there's an appetite out there, clearly.
There is.
All right, we'll give it some thought. Stay tuned. All right, speaking of utes and trucks, we can't go a whole show without talking about the truck, the CyberTruck. All right, so now Riz is excited, I can see. So this is another custom CyberTruck wide body kit.
Black on black. Now, this is something that I think Jay-Z would drive in, but it's probably not. It's probably Shaquille O'Neal's next truck.
It's the truck.
The truck.
comment is SEMA 2024 is going to be crazy. Now, SEMA, I think they specialize in mods and accessories and stuff.
I think it's like that Auto Salon, which used to be a show here in Australia where they were modifying anything and everything. So, yeah, I mean, hey, if this gets in front of the proper ute and truck and off-roading lovers, and they look at that and it's like, what is that? You never know how many of them would want to buy one or actually sit in one and get interested in electric cars. So, any interest, it's good.
I quite like this body kit, I must say. Like, the wheels are insane, and it's so low now, and the fenders are all gloss as well. So I don't mind it actually. Here we go. So where is it? CyberTruck crashed into a fire hydrant and caught fire apparently last week. I think I might have read that too. So happens. That happens, unfortunately. Speaking of, there we go. This is in O'Connor, so WA. The Cybertruck has made it there. Unwrapped, unmodded. This is the original, well, one of the early prototypes anyway.
This won't be at SEMA. This is actually in WA.
There you go, doing its little road trip around the country. I would have thought maybe WA is its last stop, Riz, before heading somewhere else.
I believe that's the case. The WA will be on. I think it was last on the road show. So I actually don't know. Some of our South Australian viewers and listeners may know, but did it actually stop anywhere in Adelaide? Because I think it just went straight from Hobart to in Melbourne, Hobart, and I think from there was onto a truck into WA. Maybe in time for this opening of this new showroom that they had last weekend.
Yes, correct. Yep. That's right. Yeah, Paul says no touching. That's right. You never get to touch it. Well, you can actually touch the exterior, and we could in Sydney. We couldn't go inside.
And actually, one more little bit of Tesla news. I saw today Tom Zhu, which for Tesla people, they may know this gentleman. He's, I think, the vice president, like very high up. Like he's one of those, top executives at Tesla. There was a photograph I saw of him and the team at Tesla in Southport in Queensland. So, senior Tesla executives visiting Australia. What could be coming? Who knows?
Full self-driving, maybe. That'd be interesting. Speaking of autonomous, here we go. We've got actual smart summon ASS being tested in the US. So let's see this in action. I might turn the music down. I'll also get a copyright strike, but you get the idea. For those listening on podcasts, I think this person is just testing out the actual smart summon. The car is like probably 40 meters away in a car park that's empty, thank goodness. And then it's just showing the Model Y just making its way towards the person holding the app through the car park. And it's navigating turns and so on. It's not a straight line for sure. It's seeing an obstacle and then finding a different way, maybe? Or is it going to just roll over the obstacle? Roll over the bump. Okay, straight over the bump. And... or was that a Model X? Apologies, Model X. There you go. That seemed to work all right. You ever tried Smart Summon, Riz, in your car?
No, I haven't. But that's still pretty cool. I know there's a lot of criticism around this. But, imagine the days of robotaxis, which, some may say they're far-fetched, but apparently a lot of work's being done in China around them. They can go through toll booths and everything themselves. So, this stuff is still cool to see. I think, it sort of gives us a bit of a glimpse of the future. Have you tried it, Tom?
I have tried it in our old Model 3 when I had the FSD package. And yeah, look, it's a great party trick. It's great. Even sitting in the passenger seat, I got Joy, my wife, to do it and use the app to get it closer to her. It's kind of weird feeling no one in the driver's seat, right? It's still a great party trick, but still a bit of a taste of the future, perhaps. Gaffer says, notice how on the ASS it's packed and backs out first. I saw another test of it where it got out of the car park, went round and roundabout to come back to the owner. Wow, that's insane. And Sid Evie says, I use Smart Summon a lot every day when I was working at the airport just because, and use Summon every day at home garage. Yeah, it's good to back out of tight spaces. And Elon said Australia will get it in 2 weeks. You heard it here first, folks. 2 weeks. Yeah, Tazzy said the Cybertruck wasn't roped off. so I could touch the exterior. Weird that's roped off in WA. And in Sydney, I know on day one, I missed out on this, but in Sydney you could go inside on the car on the first day if you arrived first thing in the morning before everyone realised, no, not allowed inside. And I think Riz Queensland and South Australia haven't got it yet, so maybe that's next on the list.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it went up to Queensland because it landed in Sydney, I believe, and then it was sort of from there to Canberra, to Melbourne, to Tassie, to WA. Maybe it will come back to South Australia, and then it will sort of travel on the route, on sort of on the tracks of the Gan all the way up to
Darwin.
Queensland.
Maybe New Zealand. Get a look in as
Hey.
well. Sweet as. And yeah, speaking of 2 weeks, so here we go. The Robotaxi being unveiled on October 10 at the Warner Brothers Discovery Movie Studio in Burbank, California. How do you? Is this a render, or is this the? No, it must be a render, surely.
Yeah, I think it's a render. That car, just looking at that, would be very, very difficult to produce. And we know Tesla's all about simplicity, especially if they're going to make technically millions of these. So, yeah, that's extreme complexity for what it is. So, it looks like a bit of a roadster and a cross between that and Jaguar I-Pace, Waymo, self-driving car.
Yes.
So, but still cool.
You're right. There's no way they would make this car for a Robotaxi. It would be the most boring design because you would make millions of them and they would just be like just Ubers, right? Like Robo Ubers. So yeah, you're right, Riz. It's going to be just very, straight out of the pack kind of car. So yeah, interested to see how they will make that vehicle work in the States, at least. Interesting times ahead. Now, we have talked about bidirectional charging on the show previously. This is the future of EVs, I think. This is where they're useful. So, looks like Kyle, probably from out of spec, I imagine, installing a level 2 home charging setup in the US. I don't know. I think so. I think this is Kyle, isn't it? So, yeah, hopefully this will be coming to Australia in the next couple of years, bidirectional charging. Because it'd be a great risk to have a battery as big as like the BYD Seal, 80 kilowatt hours to help power the home at night if you charge during the day. It's cool. Now, SWS makes a good point. Hopefully not with the Robotaxi, like electric scooters left all over the streets with scrapes and damage. No, surely not. Be more controlled than that. Can the Cybertruck float? Well, not officially, I think. Be like those, what do you call those amphibious things in the Gold Coast? Those duck tour things?
Aqueduct.
Aqueduct, yep. That's funny. Yep, Tassie Evie, thanks for that. Yes, it is Kyle from Outer Spec. Basically V2H system. Cool. All right. Let's keep going for now. So that's the bidirectional charging. I just want to highlight too a post that was tagged in Alex McEwen on X. So this is his Sydney to Adelaide to Sydney road trip. Fantastic stats. Thanks for sharing all these, Alex. So in his Tesla Model 3 long range from 2021, so 2021 means it's an Intel Atom chip, Intel chip, not AMD Ryzen. So it's an older Model 3. Over 3,000 kilometers traveled, 545 kilowatt hours, $300 in electricity. So about 55 cents per kilowatt hour. So about sort of average for DC charging. Efficiency of 176 watt hours per kilometer. That's fantastic, Riz. Pretty good efficiency for that kind of trip.
Hi.
Yeah, so thanks for sharing this, all your stats, and this is the route he took across the inland and then back around through regional Victoria. So good. Having the Hay Supercharger in New South Wales, that just sort of plugs the gap through the inland there, which is really good. And yeah, all those stats there, so good. Thanks so much, Alex. Appreciate it. There you go. EVs can do it. Don't need a hybrid. And this is another one. This is Sandy P tagging me as well. He was in North America from Australia, visiting Toronto in a Model 3 rental, 50 trips, more than 1,000 kilometers, only 2 interventions for FSD. One for autopilot strike, another for a tight U-turn. It's pretty good. Thanks for sharing that. And speaking of superchargers, so here we go. Bit of a spy shot here. Mackay, Queensland.
Hey.
Spotting some V3 superchargers. Nice. Now, for our international viewers, Mackay is actually quite far north, like very far north. one of the sort of northern cities there. So great to see the Supercharger network going all the way up there. It's great. At the moment, I think, what is it? The most furthest north is Rockhampton, I think. So
Yeah, so this would be further north than that, I think. This is one
Yep.
of those ones, and apparently it's at a home co there. So, generally there's few shops and amenities around. So I think Tesla and Homeco have got a few sites that they've worked together on. So it's good to see sort of a large property group that is interested in EV charging, and wherever they've installed them, in my experience, have been quite a few customers, Tesla owners, others coming in, and I think it's very good use of some of those car parks, and yeah, you get tourists in areas like Mackay.
That's right. Mackay's a great place. Kind of almost the gateway to the Whit Sundays and so on. Quite far north. So yeah, Rocky's already quite far north, and then Mackay even further. So what's next? Cairns, I guess, and then the top end. Okay, so we were talking a little bit about the BYD situation with the pre-March 2024 seals and also the Atto 3s not being able to charge at V3, V4 superchargers. This is an email received from BYD today from one of our viewers. Happy to share this with you. And this is what it says. So thank you for your email. At this stage, BYD is still in the investigation phase for the compatibility of the V3, V4 Tesla superchargers. BYD appreciates your patience as we attempt to find a solution that will benefit all customers. As this investigation is ongoing and ever changing, there is the potential that a solution is found and implemented before your service. However, I have not received any information in regard to a date. I have been notified that once the solution is found, BYD will be informing all seal owners, so on. Please get in touch with customer care. So at least it's, I don't know, some hope, Riz, that it might be coming soon. But then again, we've heard this before, so it's hard to know, isn't it?
I think it was first raised in an article that I put together 12 months ago. So we're at the 12-month mark now, and it's challenging when there's information on channels like yours here, Tom, where there's real owners and others that are trying to find a solution and are reaching out, and I guess there's no certainty and there's no real response that says yay or nay, and we've seen both sides, right? We've seen that some confirmation previously by a government department where they had a response from someone from EV Direct or BYD around that, and they said it's probably not going to happen for the Attos, but then there was conflicting news saying it will happen. Here is another bit of conflicting news on we're still investigating. So yeah, it's I don't know how much further they can kick this, but it's yeah, hopefully there is some resolution. But yeah, 12 months.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, look, Sergio saying here, told the fix was coming a month ago, still waiting. I got my fix when I returned from China with Riz back in, what was it, late June. So we're talking like 3 months now down the track. Tristan's saying, I see people on Berkshire still unaware their Atto seal can't charge. This is the issue. It's BYD is not informing customers of this problem, and people are going, what's going on? Why isn't my Atto 3 or seal charging? That's a really frustrating thing going on road trips, right? And what is it? Yeah, Jason's saying the fix installed in my car. Correct. It's already there. The fix is there. I don't know why it's not being rolled out yet. So we'll keep talk about this issue week to week. Just because mine is fixed, I'm still going to sort of highlight this for everyone else, because there's lots of Atto 3s out there, as you know, lots of seals still affected by it. So we'll keep pushing on. All right, Richard says, yeah, Port Campbell in Victoria, Great Ocean Road. We talked about this last week. Open now with Superchargers, which is good.
I've heard, I think Bright's also open now.
Oh yeah,
in Victoria. Yep. So that was thanks to Mark Balkin, who's one of our regular viewers. He shared that with me earlier today.
Thanks, Mark. This Mark here, Mark T, says yes. Bright Victoria opened yesterday. That's good. Yeah, Lewis, that's a good point. Townsville, then Cairns. That's right. Yeah, Mackay, Townsville, Cairns. Is it Mackay or Mackay? I think it's Mackay, isn't it? Am I pronouncing it wrong? Mackay. Yeah, Richard says it's 340 kilometers from Rockhampton to Mackay. And Mark B says Supercharger Bowen is the most northern. Oh, okay. Apologies.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
even further north. Thank you, Charles. That's correction there. Bidirectional learning. That's what I love about this stream. You guys keep us informed too. Thank you. Jason says if it's a paid upgrade, there'll be riots. Well, I don't think some people will be happy to pay a small amount, surely, for the fix. Oh, here we go. Biker Sydney is Alex. This is the Alex from this post that we were talking about with the trip from Sydney to South Australia and then back again. So let's go back to this post. And he says, "Hi Tom and Riz, Alex here. Thank you. It was a great trip. The gusty wind was wild, but the Tesla held the road with auto steer essential. Hopefully the trip stats show EVs can road trip. They sure can. Thanks, Alex. Much appreciated."
That's it.
Thank you.
I think at times like these where the sales are a bit down, and it feels like, hey, where are we at? This sort of stuff that doesn't usually make mainstream media should be what we should be talking about, because yeah, we can get around. There are chargers in places. I think EV car makers, particularly the new ones, need to do a lot better job at educating the new owners that you can supercharge and you can charge. There's so many locations. The challenge is a lot of them don't know themselves. So the salespeople and the sales team need education on how many chargers do we have, where are they at, how do new owners find that. It's a new world, but the more we can educate, when someone is at a barbecue and says, "Oh, you got a new electric car, you can't charge it anywhere." Well, actually, I can, because they're the sort of discussions we need to have. So hopefully our viewers and listeners are able to take and see what people like Alex are doing, and share those real world stories with people, because we need to encourage more people to not sort of pause every time they hear something in the media that is negative towards EVs and say, my next car will be an EV, but that's years away. It's here today.
Yeah. And if you can, document it like Alex has done here. Fantastic breakdown of how much it costs and efficiency and all that stuff, and tag us, me and Riz, on X or whatever social media platform you want, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Happy to broadcast it again on the stream here and just keep showing that it can be done in Australia. It's not perfect, I know, but it can be done for sure, particularly if you've got the time to do it. Now, speaking of North Queensland, this was quite an interesting photo sent by one of our viewers who wants to remain anonymous, which is fine, but this was in, I forgot which town it was, but this is a whole fleet of Dolphins, BYD Dolphins, available for Queensland Health as their fleet cars in Queensland somewhere, which is great. So I've always thought these little cars make little great pathology vehicles, or home nursing or community nursing vehicles, important health services like that. So this is great to see, Riz.
I think you're right, Tom, and it's rare. We haven't seen too many of these sort of examples, but we do. And I also think if the car companies are listening, so I guess it's BYD and MG in this case that do sell that hatchback sort of vehicle, get a base model in there for around about the same price as a Corolla hybrid, and then go and educate a lot of these larger government departments and fleet owners about the benefits, and you will sell thousands of them. The challenge at the moment is that the Dolphin and the MG4 sort of starts at mid 30,000s before on-roads, but some of the stuff that they have, fleets don't necessarily need. Like a glass roof, which I think the Dolphin has, and a couple of other things. They just want cars that work. And yeah, if you can bring the price down by $4,000-$5,000 by doing that, you will sell thousands of them across the country. So this is a great example.
It's great, yeah. And apparently, this person who sent me the photo said they were all charged. Well, there were at least 20 chargers on site as well. So this is perfect, because coming from the health sector, a lot of these cars, when they go out to the community to do their whatever they need to do, nursing or collect pathology, they don't do that long trips. Like they go out, come back, go out, come back. So every time you come back, plug it in, and it'll charge the trip that you just made. So it's like electric cars are just perfect. There's no downtime. You don't have to go to the petrol station to pump up. So hats off to Queensland Health for taking this initiative. And thank you everyone for correcting me. It's called a pod of dolphins, not a fleet of dolphins. Thank you. Got to use the right collective noun there. Thanks very much, Jason. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, John. Bidirectional learning. It's good. Yeah, and yeah, RAV4 sales boom this month, Riz, I think, according to how, due to fleet buyers. They need to swing to EVs like that, just the way I told you.
That's it. I mean, technologically, other vehicles are far more superior. But yeah, I guess very few people know the benefits. And then part of this sort of says the FUD that went around during Olympics, with all the Toyota ads and the rest of it. Not saying Toyotas are bad cars. I just think that they need to be serious and not sell 70 BZ4Xs, but claim that pretty much the amount of plugging in those ads was crazy. And I was just like, this is anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think Barry needs to buy a Dolphin, not a RAV4. Give that a go. Now, this is another spy shot from another viewer of ours. I think I can say who it is. This is Ampol 7 Hills, Riz. I think you shared this one.
Yes. So this is H2 Rider, a regular viewer who shared this with us. And I think, Tom, you correctly pointed out that charger underneath that cover looks like an Alptronics charger. So new charging hardware finally starting to get out there. And this seems to be a lot slimmer than what we've seen at Pheasant's Nest.
Yep, hopefully it handshakes quickly and works. Hopefully tap and go, but yeah, we shall see. Have to go out and have a test of that and test the charging speed. Yeah, good to see Ampol finally rolling out some more chargers. They've been quiet for a little while, but yeah, the more the merrier. And look, it makes sense to have a couple of spots in a petrol station. You know, it shouldn't be fuel stations. It should be fuel stations, not petrol stations, because fuel is energy, right? No matter what powertrain. Oh, thank you, Scott. What is the collective noun of Ludicrous Feed viewers? A genius. Yeah, I like that. I like that. You guys are all smart. You keep us informed all the time. Charger viewers. I like that too. It's good. Thanks for sharing these spy shots to everyone. Keep them coming. Keep tagging us. We want to see these real-world examples of chargers going in. It's good. Now, we talked a bit about the Zeekr 7X a couple of weeks ago with their golden battery and fast charging and so on. Yeah, here's some more shots here that we might just have a quick look at and feast over.
Now, just that shot alone. So this is supposed to be a premium mid-sized sort of SUV. That's taking premiumness to another level.
Oh, yeah.
If you pay attention to the tray that's coming with the screen that is sort of, sitting vertically up for the rear passengers, that is pretty cool. So this is apparently standard, and so is the privacy blinds, which you can, with one button, they just go up or down. So this is the level of premiumness that I think some car makers are trying to integrate into the back seats of their vehicles. Not sure if this would come here, but this was at the Chengdu Auto Show where it was announced.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. This is like almost Spectre quality, Riz. Look at the recline there with the calf support and the screen on the back of the seat there. Phenomenal, honestly. And the blinds. This could make a very nice airport shuttle kind of vehicle, right? There's a market for this, like the premium high-end luxury transfer vehicle. And even if even for families who want a bit more luxury in their car, this is a nice option to have.
I think there seems to be more premiumness than a BMW X5 there, or a GLE. So it's all electric as well.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and the screen sort of packs up like that, as you were mentioning. And we know the Zeekrs, they can do really good interiors. We've seen the 001, 007, 009s in China. They're just like chef's kiss, really good interiors. So yeah, hopefully we'll see these in Australia, although we need probably faster chargers to match that golden battery charging speed of 10 to 80% in, 10.5 minutes, right?
That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Cool. So that's the 7X, and then this is just a summary of the 7X you can expect once they launch. 800-volt architecture, 5.5C, get that right, 5.5C charging, 10 to 80% in 12 minutes. 10.5, I thought it was. 75 kilowatt hour short blade LFP battery pack, 482 kilometers. I don't know if that's accurate. CLTC, or 100 kilowatt hour Qld NMC battery pack. With probably CLTC ranges, maybe. Not sure. Wow, yeah. Nice looking vehicle too, I think. From the outside.
And it's got that, the Stargate that they had with the customizable front. And I saw a video of it that was put up of it off-roading partially. So, yeah, I don't know. It's very capable cars, and it is it is expected to launch in the Australian market next year. They're launching with the Zeekr X first, which Tom, you reviewed on your channel at the launch a couple of weeks ago. Then the 009, which is the big people mover that's supposed to come later this year.
Yep.
And then next year, this car will be out. In China, it will be released this year. So, yeah, quite interesting to see the variety of vehicles heading our way. And this definitely looks very premium.
Now, Riz, for my namesake, I am a doubting Thomas. I do want to see the 7X charge in the flesh, so to speak. So I think Zeekr need to bring us back to Hangzhou and show us in person this can charge in 10 minutes from 10 to 80%.
Well, that's it. Maybe, the next trip could be about the charging itself. So, if the good people at Zeekr are listening, we need to test this and viewers and listeners want to see this.
I think I might have sport the market with my umbrella shot from the Rolls-Royce Spectre, because questions are firing about is there an umbrella storage? I mean, that's kind of the mark of luxury at the moment, umbrella holder. Jeanette says the Atto 3's got umbrella storage behind the guitar strings. I think you need probably a smaller one. And by the way, at spoiler as well, I tested the Atto 3 today. The guitar strings still play Smoke on the Water, so it's still been tuned for Smoke on the Water. So that's good news. I was worried about that. House says, well, lovely. It's far from what it's needed. We still need a no-frills model around 30,000. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think there's a market for that, and this as well at the same time. Cool. Richard says the 7X has got a 2-ton tow rating. Wow, that's huge. Big capacity. Oh, thank you, Jason. 5 Ludicrous Feed memberships, much appreciated. And Zeekr, yes, it's going to be a franchise dealership model, according to what they told us at the launch in Sydney. Mr. 2 says it'd be great to see more coverage of Euro car makers on this channel. Your Rolls-Royce video is excellent. Thank you very much. Cheers to you.
Oh.
Yeah, happy to do it if the Euro car makers want to reach out. I wouldn't mind doing the Tavascan, Riz. I think you sat in that recently, the Cupra Tavascan.
Yeah, so that needs to come. I think they said Q4. A lot's going to happen in Q4, Tom. I don't know what your schedule's looking like, but starting next month, basically we have, the Zeekr X was spoken about. That's going to be launched at South by Southwest.
Yes.
In Sydney, we have the Xpeng G6. You got a chance to test drive that last week as well. So anyone that's interested, check out that video. Then you have the Zeekr 009. We have the Leap Motor C10, I think. That's Stellantis. I'm already seeing photos on LinkedIn. They're starting to showcase it to their dealer partners and others.
ID Buzz.
And ID Buzz, Smart
Yep.
#1, #3.
Yep.
Volkswagen ID4, supposedly.
Oh, yes.
So
much happening.
There's a lot there.
So much happening. Got to quit my day job, Riz, and come work for Carloop.
Hey, if anyone's listening, sponsor Carloop so we can have the main man on here helping us out.
I can review cars every day. If that
That's
happens,
it.
we'll see. Now, almost at the end of our show, and tell us about the Rob Roy all-electric Hillclimb and EV car show, Riz. This looks intriguing.
Yes, community announcement. So this is happening in Melbourne on the 27th of October. It's organized by the MG Club, and it's not often that you can get behind the wheel of an electric car and go for a bit of a fang or a enthusiast drive around a hill climb track. So it's happening. Basically, you just need to be a member of our club, whether it's Australian EV Association or Tesla Owners Club or any sort of clubs. And yeah, basically, as Rich Laxton says, it's like the Goodwood Festival of Speed, but a lot smaller. And basically, anyone with an electric car can join. So expression of interests are open. There is a website there. So yeah, if you're interested, look it up. They're also looking for volunteers to help out around the track on the day. It is a Sunday, and it's it should be a very fun day. And if this catches on, then there's lots of opportunities to do these sort of things. And we need to get everyone excited about electric cars. So this could be that event.
Yeah, I mean, the way Richard talked about, and you talked about the fact that it might be a Goodwood Festival of Speed equivalent in Victoria. That sounds very intriguing now. So, yeah, if you're in the area,
without the big sponsors flying in cars in their private jets and the rest of it, it will be us owners taking our cars around. So anyone that's interested, or any manufacturer that's interested, hey, at least have a car to showcase. If nothing else, you're going to get some interest into your electric vehicles in the market. So anyone interested, check it out.
I know Max Verstappen was a Goodwood. Will you have someone famous like that talking about cars, or apart from
Riz
yourself, Riz?
Akhtar might be there. I've just got to be. I've got to be at multiple shows on that same day, so I'll try my best to come by and say hi.
Get down there, guys. Sunday, 27th of October, 2024. Historic Rob Roy Hillclimb, 375 Clintons Road, Christmas Hills. The Goodwood Festival of Speed equivalent for Victoria. That's where you want to be. So check it out. Thanks for that community announcement. Thanks, Riz. I'll get that out. Yeah, so Paul says, speaking of umbrellas, did you at least swap the Spectre umbrella out for your Bunnings one? Yeah, no, I think I wouldn't be invited back if I did that. I didn't even want to unfurl it, Riz. It was that nice. It was just a perfect umbrella. Just wanted to touch it and felt the muscular grooves of the umbrella.
So for our listeners and viewers, it's sort of what we learned last week. We had a very enthusiastic designer from Smart that really liked to showcase his design work by showcasing how the curves of the cars are. So yeah, if you're interested, check out Tom's video of the #5. You will see it and you'll spot it. But very passionate about his job. So in this case, Tom, I think the viewers are demanding that you have to be an umbrella connoisseur in all vehicles that you test, whether it's an Atto 3 or a Spectre.
Well, Bjorn's got his banana test. Gavin's got his potato test. I might do an umbrella test, maybe, just how long a Rolls-Royce umbrella can, or at least a Bunnings umbrella can fit into the back of a boot, right? I think we're onto something here. Yeah, look, that designer sold me, actually. I quite like the curves of the Smart number 3 or #3. That's the one I would pick out of all of them. It's a nice little smart little car, so to speak.
The Coke bottle design, as he said, from the rear.
It's very smooth. Like, front and back look the same. Very Mercedes on the inside and out. So, that's on my shortlist, I reckon, to get as a sort of a town car, occasional day tripper. Scott says, imagine the Rolls-Royce dude running to the car to check the umbrella in the Bunnings one. They probably did, actually, when I returned it. I wouldn't trust me either. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Apparently the Spectre umbrella is like $3,000 US. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have swiped it. A lot of money. That's nuts. Crazy. Lowest prices are just the beginning. 100%. I shouldn't give Bunnings a free plug. They're not paying anything for this free real estate.
Right. At one stage, I think they did have some charging cables, but I don't even know if they're there anymore.
Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah. Now, let's finish the show with this bit of news. So, BYD buys out German distributor to take control of their distributor in Germany. So let's have a look at this article. I think this is very interesting, Riz, because does this have connotations for other networks around the world, including our very own here for Australia?
Look, I don't know. This made global headlines for, I guess, various different reasons, and one of them being that this is normal for all brands. They generally start into a market, generally working with a distributor or a partner as they grow, and the distributors expect this eventually. That, like Kia and Hyundai, they all started the same way. Eventually, they basically started doing things themselves. And eventually they'll just run their operations themselves, which is in some ways the way it should be done, but in other ways generally companies like big car companies are not always 100% sure of a market. That's why they choose a local distributor to start with. But in this case, BYD has bought out the stake from the German distributor, which means they would be managing pretty much everything themselves. Obviously still probably retailing cars out of that distributor, but the whole operation will be themselves. And yeah, it could happen for other markets, not only for BYD, but for other brands as well that are coming in with the distributor. So yeah, I don't know if it improves or has an impact on the customer experience. But if they're buying it out, there must be a very good reason for it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess to be honest, there's been mixed reviews of the local distributor here for BYD. It's not a secret. You can read any forum you like. It's been sort of hot and cold throughout the last 18 months or so. So yeah, interesting times to see whether they will take hold. We know other brands like XPeng are doing the same thing. There's a local distributor here in Australia through True EV. Other brands like Zeekr, they're doing it through a franchise dealership model, as is Smart as well through the Mercedes LSH group. So yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see. It's a good experiment in the next sort of 5 years to see which model works best, whether it's a franchise dealership, whether it's through HQ, whether it's through direct sales like Tesla are doing. So yeah, looks like the Germans are going through HQ now with the buyout. I mean, you'd expect it to be quite expensive, right, Riz, for a big buyout like this for the distributors.
Pretty much so. But I guess if the market is important enough, then the manufacturers will do it.
Yep. Now, is it true that Germans don't have a tariff on EVs at the moment like the rest of Europe?
I think Europe probably does. My understanding is it was all across Europe, so UK may not because they're no longer part of. But then again, I'm only in Canada and China at the moment, not in Europe just yet. But if European broadcasters are listening, to our knowledge, yeah, exactly. #Riz needs to learn a little bit more, so they might as well interview me for it.
I'm sure BBC will be calling after this stream, Riz. Don't worry.
Well, they did when Rishi had to go, but yeah, that was for a different issue.
Different issue. We won't go into that. It's not that kind of podcast. All right, yeah. Oscreamer says keeping everything under the one corporate umbrella helps keep costs down. That's right. A bit more vertical integration. Umbrella, the theme. And BYD very cost focused. Correct. That's right. And Goat has sausage in a bun now. Yep. Sensei, why this online sale of a car? Don't you all enjoy arguing, yelling at the sales manager for hours to get a discount? I did done that once or twice. I just get my blood pressure up, unfortunately. I don't get much of a discount either. So, don't know. Maybe it is easy just to buy the price they set. If everyone has the same price, who knows? All right. What is the model in the pic? I think, is that a Han?
It is a Han.
Yeah, we don't get that here. It is a nice sedan, isn't it? All right. Well, that might be it for tonight, everyone. Sorry about my camera, but good old webcam built-in camera saves the day for my MacBook, so all good. I'll try and get my camera fixed. It is getting on. It's been a bit of an older camera, but that's all right. Get it working next week.
Canon or any of the big brands, if you're listening, we're looking for sponsorships or at least a review unit that Tom may be reviewing for a long time. So please send it our way.
That's right. Weekly reviews, long-term use. Riz, well, thank you as always. #Riz. Thank you for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule. Much appreciated.
As always, Tom, good fun. I think there's a lot happening now, particularly with EV sales going through the little dip that they are. But I think they'll bounce back, and they'll bounce back quite strongly. And a lot of the legacy OEMs, unless they've got a few EVs lined up, are going to be in a pretty tough spot in the coming years. So the product planning teams better be working very hard to get a few EV models down here. Volkswagen, you need to get yours very quickly. And get them to Tom so we can review them.
Yeah, that's right. Lots happening in the space. Our day jobs are at risk, but that's okay. We do it for you guys, and you do it for us, I know, with the bidirectional learning each week on the stream. And make sure after class, check out the our Byron Bay, or Brisbane to Byron Bay road trip in both the #1 and the #3 with #Riz and myself on these drives. It was such a good day. The weather was perfect as well in southeastern Queensland and northern New South Wales. Thanks, everyone. Next week, we'll have to see what happens because I might have to attend something as well to do with EVs. So I can't say yet, but I will be there for another event. So it might be a different day. We'll keep you informed for sure. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And as always, happy charging. We'll see you next time. Bye now.